Hi guys, it's Shan81 here and welcome to Speed Build Sunday. So today we are building a house that I grew up near. I guess it was in my hometown. It is called the Grand on Macfie and it's a beautiful, what do we call it, Federation home from my local town, and I thought it would be something fun to try and recreate in The Sims. So just trying to get the sort of layout and sizing here, sort of trying to work out roughly how big I wanted it. And now I did put it sideways on this block, so I think when it uploaded, I think it didn't upload from that view, it uploaded from the other view, but it works. Like, I mean, it works anyway because it's a beautiful building that you can sort of see from a few angles. So the two pictures that I showed at the start, all the angles I had, so I had to make up sort of what I felt the back looked like as well. So looks like I have actually never been to the building. I remember seeing it growing up, but I don't remember, like, I've never been to it. So as such, and I haven't been through it or anything. So the interior is completely made up as well. Yeah, this is. So I started with like a 2-story building, and I was just going to put the roof on, and I was going to do a one of the tricks where you sort of place the roof on like the second level or something and raise it up to the same height as your roof line, and like you put like a half wall on the very top, and then you build your roof separately on a couple of stories up, and then you move it across on top of the existing roof line. So yeah, I was going to do that, which is why there's a half wall on top of it right now. And currently just trying to choose what posts I want to use, trying to find something that would work. I just pull out a heap different ones and then slowly just get rid of them as I decide that they will not work. I wanted something that would look right going sort of right through, because on this build there's no like at the front of the building there's no like balustrade, whatever, like the fence work at the front of it, only on the second floor. So on the lower floor there's nothing there, it's just the edge off into the garden basically. So I sort of wanted something that would work so it looks sort of like it goes straight through. So just trying to match up the design. I think it changes a little bit more at the front, but not too much. Just trying to work out what to use, sort of design aspect. Mostly a red brick building, so that was kind of fun. I don't generally do red brick buildings. I'm not too sure why, I just don't. I think because most of what I do is probably more modern sort of builds, unless I'm copying something like this and then it sort of changes. But yeah, I think these older style Federation buildings, or the English buildings that I've done, have been using red bricks a little bit more, which has been a lot of fun. And then the sort of the bay window sort of sections, they are like a rendered sort of white, so it's like brick but it's been rendered over. So and just that the edge molding stuff there, between the layers, between the floors. I only wanted it on the bay window pieces. What would be great though is if we could press shift when we're trying to delete it to only delete one section. You can hold shift down to place it, but to delete it you can't. Like, if you hold shift down while placing that stuff, you'll only get it on the wall piece that you're sort of hovering over. But if you try and delete it, you delete the lot. You get no choice. It's the lot or nothing. And trying to find, what am I looking for? I was trying to work out. So the windows are quite arched sort of window, but also not at the same time. It was more the brickwork was arched around it. sort of, I don't know, sort of still a square window, but sort of more arched in the brickwork. And it was like, yeah, awkward to try and replicate. I sort of came up with a different sort of way of doing it, which was fun. And then out the back, like I said, I had to make up out the back because I didn't have any pictures, so I made a nice little sun sort of room, I guess. Sort of indoor-outdoor space. And then there was a lot of green used in this build, so like in the pictures there was sort of like green accents to things, so I do use a bit of green. Oh, I think I start to use green. I'm not sure whether I actually finish using green. Oh no. Yeah, and yeah, go through a lot of windows, and I just, you'll notice here I just place a heap of different ones to try and work out sort of what would look right. I end up not using the arched windows. I just go with I think a square one. I sort of looked at other options, like ones with shutters, which I've never used in any build. I've never used windows with shutters, so that's something that I should try to do sometime. I should actually try and do a Tudor build at some stage, because I've never done one. Not the sort of style that I see here in Australia, so not something I really go out of my way to do, although I do have a couple of Tudor builds design ideas, and one of them actually is building in Australia, so I may give that one a go at some stage. And I thought I'd try and use green around the windows, but because not all windows have the same colour swatches, it's best just to go with like a white, and then you can just match up the colour swatches. Found it a bit easier. I mean, I don't mind the green. I thought the green looked quite nice, but I think something didn't match, and so I decided to change it. And trying to decide what to do with this back piece, I ended up using these windows. They're the windows that are sort of like almost a whole wall piece to the window. But I use those, and I added, I think, a frieze on the top. Oh, so now I'm changing this up to full wall height at the top, and I decided to do that just to get the depth in the house that I wanted. Like, I knew I wanted, well, that the actual building sort of had a bit extra space towards the top, but no, just roofing. I hate roofing. Well, I don't hate roofing. I actually really enjoy doing the roofs on builds. I find them a fun challenge, but this was an interesting piece to try and work out. It just wasn't working the way I wanted it to. I end up using a full, like a hexagon piece, but I was trying to do something a bit different. It didn't work, so I tried. Anyway, so yeah, I added a whole another floor on. Basically, there's absolutely zero access to that floor. It's there mostly to get the exterior look to the build. I'm trying to work out which roofing piece I need to use. Yeah, I swear there's only one of those hexagonal roofs I ever use, and it's that one, because it's the only one that works. I think it's that one. Yeah, finally got it set right. Yeah, that one is the only one I use, and I think it's the 8-sided one. The others just don't sit right. I don't know why. Like, they just look stupid. Yeah, you can see I've got all these roof pieces sitting on top of it. It's only because I just sort of chuck them there and grab them when I need them to make life easier on me. So this is the balcony piece, so that's sort of one layer lower. It's not the full height of the building. So now I'm just sort of trying to match up the line, like get the lines right, but without making it sort of stick up too high. If that makes sense. Like I wanted part of that wall showing before you get to the top roof. If that makes sense. So the balcony sort of the balcony roof is lower than the roof on the actual house. And I do try to add more windows at the top. That actually takes them out, because obviously in the picture it doesn't have 3 stories, it's only a 2-story building. So I actually take them out. One thing I really enjoy doing on this build though is the gardening. I actually really enjoyed it. I don't normally enjoy doing the landscaping, but it was fun. I think because I went with a different style of landscaping. I don't normally do this sort of style, and having the terrain tools made it a lot more fun. I got to play around with different, heights of the garden, sort of making it look like a proper garden bed, basically. It was good fun. And just trying to work out how to make this look right. Just adding different roof ending there just to make it sort of end off properly. So sometimes your roofing has to be built with a lot of pieces, and just to get it right, to look right, and that's what I did here. A lot of different pieces. And that's another reason why I didn't end up using that floor. Is because the roof leaked into that floor. It wouldn't. There's nothing you can do about it. It just does for some reason. And then this, because I wanted it to be a glass, a little gazebo-y piece, I added glass roof, and then added the full door as well to that back piece as well. And what am I doing now? Just adding. No idea. I went and did something. Changed something. Oh yeah, looking at different frieze pieces to go around, see what I want to do. And just sort of trying to decide what height I wanted the windows. Yeah, really trying to work out what I want to do. It just wasn't quite working. 3 stories just... it looks okay, but it wasn't the look that I wanted for the house. So I go take them out. So go through and I put all these little wooden pieces in under the eaves. Oh, no, not yet. Oh, that's right. I was looking at the different things, edgings, mouldings, to see whether there was one that had it on it automatically. But actually go through and place every single piece, every little sort of corner piece that I don't know. And we do that in a burgundy sort of colour, which is more of a Federation red. That's what we call it in Australia anyway. I don't know what it's called everywhere else, but that sort of burgundy colour we call Federation red. And I was trying to find the right sort of green roof, because it was quite a green roof on the build. So, but that was as green as I could get it, sort of without it looking too silly. And you'll notice the roof on the balcony is a bit high at the moment. I do lower that a bit. And I kind of like the green on the stairs, but I think I switch them out for a more stone looking stair. Oh no, it sort of ends up being grey, not green. So I changed the edging to a grey instead of the green, which I think that's where the change came from. Oh yeah, here I'm lowering the roof a bit. It was just a bit too high, so I just bring it down a bit. And adding concrete, trying to find the right sort of concrete to add to make it look like it is concrete, I guess. Anyway, I can explain it. And then up here was like a green floorboard. It was painted green, so I go and put a green floorboard in as well. And then I realised the build needs to be moved a bit, so we just shuffle it along, and I decided to give it a nice big garden out the front, which is a bit different, instead of out the back. And here I'm placing some of the garden sort of edging, roughly the same sort of garden beds as are in the images, but yeah, sort of, it was, took a bit of creative license with it. And the path I decided to do a bit differently. I sort of bring the path to the front corner instead of also at this stage I didn't know where the build was going to upload from. I should have checked that at the start. I've learnt my lesson now. So I thought if I do the sort of the pathway from the corner, it doesn't really matter whether it uploads from one spot or the other. And there's a fountain at the front, so I sort of built my own little fountain and then put another fountain inside it, just because the pre-built ones were a bit too big. I didn't have quite enough space to work with, so. And just changing the colour of the water and things. I added just lined it with brick pattern, or rock pattern, I guess. So it looked alright. Adding dirt to the garden bed. I don't know whether I haven't terrain tooled it yet, but I do bring in the terrain. Oh, here we go. In with the terrain tool, so bring it up quite a bit, and then as I'm smoothing it out, it brings it down a fair way, but not, so it still looks like a garden bed, but not. It's not really exaggerated. This corner piece I love doing. It was quite fun. I was pulling out all the romantic garden little pieces. So there's like a stone sort of seat, and then there's heaps of statues and things I pull out, little arbours and lots of fun things. And again, because I couldn't see all the garden area, obviously, because I can't see around the back in the pictures, I'd make it up a bit, which is a lot of fun. I tried to put statues roughly where statues were in the pictures and things like that, but obviously they don't match because I don't have those particular statues. And the same with the plants, I try and pick the same sort of plants, but in the end I just sort of went with it, came up with a look for myself. It's a lot of fun. And then this sort of area turned out to be really cute. It's like a little hideaway space in amongst the garden. I don't have move objects on at this point in time, and plus that wasn't flat, so I needed to make it all flat. Well, technically it was flat, but the terrain tools didn't recognise it as being flat, if that makes sense. So once it's flattened, it looks better, but I end up using that same one. Although I do change that a little bit. Link it with path up the side there, just so something a bit different. And some hedges and things. Normally, for like if I was doing a bit like this and I was doing the gardening, I'd actually put hedges against the foundations there, but I don't in this one because of the pictures. So basically, because of the pictures don't have it, I didn't use it. So there's a beautiful sort of sitting chair that's in stone, and then there's the other one as well, and then there's a fountain, a bird bath, sorry, not a fountain. Little vases with flowers, a little sundial, here's a lot little cute pieces. Like I said, I had a great time doing it, and I added another little garden piece around the side as well, just like a little feature sort of area. I don't think I used fairy in there at all. I look at using the fountain fish, but decide against it. But yeah, just pull out those couple of romantic garden pieces there. And jumping into the terrain tools again, just wanted to flatten a few pieces out, so I could actually place some pieces down without it looking silly, looking like they're floating basically. So just adding, sort of smoothing it out and making it look right. Just trying to get it so it doesn't sort of flat but not flat. And it was a little tricky to get get it as flat as possible in some places, but then having the path still flat so it doesn't look like it's so that the edges as well, like where I've got the edging, which is like fence, so that actually sat flat and not raised. And pulling all these romantic garden flowers, and it was heaps of fun. It's a beautiful cottage flowers. I think cottage garden flowers, something like that. It just reminds me of a little old, country cottage, a sort of garden area. And then these little rose bushes are super cute. I don't know if they're rose bushes as such, but they remind me of rose bushes. Or flower bushes. Just dotting them through, yeah, dotting them through. Just, yeah, different colours and very similar colours actually, because it's only like a light pink and a white that I'm putting through, but I think it looks good with just a couple of colours. Just trying to put them wherever they will actually go without putting move objects on at the moment. Sort of trying to build up a bit of a sort of look, and then yeah, these ones are bigger sort of flowers, which look really cute too, but I only want a couple of those in. Just a couple more to go in and around over this side as well. I'm trying to work out where I can fit some more in. So the nose I couldn't really fit many more in that one, in that spot. So just trying to squeeze what I could in. Oh yeah, here. So I grabbed the stone. I guess it's a stone rug. It's in the rug section, but it's like a stone sort of circle piece, and I use that to make like a little really cute path. Oh, here I flatten this area just to make sure things would actually work there. Otherwise I couldn't put anything down. So I wanted you to be able to look like you could access it through like climbing, sort of, you know, you can step through the garden, even though I don't think the Sims can because of the fence. Yeah, adding like a hedge fence as well, just for sort of on two sides of the property. And I don't hedge all the way around. I stop it sort of about there because I feel like you'd want to be able to access that sort of the back of the property, or not even the property, but like at the back there. I wanted it to feel like the rest of the world there was sort of your backyard. Does that make sense? So it sort of gives me the illusion that all that area is yours to play in. Does that make sense? So sort of wanted to open it up. Otherwise, the actual house is like almost right on the back fence line. So I want to open it up a bit more there. So this is the other little garden area I made. It's just got the little sundial in it. I was going to use the sundial close to the house, and I was like, that isn't practical. Like, you'd end up with it in the shade, and that doesn't make sense for a sundial. So I put it out in its own little spot. I thought that was kind of cute. So just looking at this roof line again, trying to see if I can make it better. Adding the chimneys in, so just trying to find the right one that would work. So it has, I think, 4 chimneys on it. I'm not too sure whether there's 4 fireplaces. I don't remember how many I actually put in. But there's 4 chimneys on top, and they probably don't line up to anything, but roughly what I could do. So here I'm going around putting all these little pieces in. So shrinking them down, trying to find ones that work. I actually shrink them down a lot, but it works quite well. I think it looks really cute. Adds just that little extra detail to the build, which I think looks really cool. So yeah, a lot to do there. Placing them around, trying to get them the right spacing all the way around. Yeah, just lining each and every one up. I think the rest of the garden I finish off camera, so I don't think you'll see all of the garden being done, but you did see most of it, which is something I don't normally show. That's right. Taking out the top windows there, but I'm still trying to work out what I could use to make it like sort of look like it was, you know, part of the next floor down, but it just didn't quite work. So here I'm changing all the windows to white. Oh yeah, to try and get an arch on there. I actually ended up changing all the windows to white anyway. I was trying out those arches to see whether it would work, but no, I couldn't get them to line up enough. Just didn't like it. But I do change all the windows to white in the end. Oh yeah, I noticed there's sort of two whites. One's more of a dirtier looking white, and the other side I just had to make sure I got the right one. Yeah, take out those half arch things. I put some of the windows higher than the others, and it just makes it look like they're on different heights. And just trying to place the stairs inside. And then I think I'm working on the layout. Yeah. So I wanted nice big grand stairs, at the sort of where, like at the entrance, you could sort of go up, either upstairs or off to either side. So I'm just putting some lights around so we can see what we're doing. And then I decide behind that can be like a bathroom, and then I try and work out what to do with the rest of the build. Like, where do I want things? I knew I needed a back access door, so we put that on, and then make a room off to the side there. I'll try and use arches. Yeah, I was trying to use the I can't remember, Jungle Adventure maybe arch. Not sure which one it was, but it didn't work. Ended up using the curved arch that I've got there, just to open it but keep it as its own room as well. And then with that little space there, I want to use the bay window. In the bay window area, I want to use a bay window chair. And then here, I want to make that a room, but like open. Yeah. So using fences and things, and adding posts, and so it separates it as a room, but and you can have things like the spandrels, but yeah, so you can add the spandrels and things, but it's sort of very open. And then just using the half walls because the benches would be up against them basically, so just using the half walls there to sort of divide it. And then working out what cabinets I want to use. I really like using these cabinets, they're quite nice. What I do inside, I basically do a rough layout of where I want things. So here I knew I wanted an island that kind of went through both rooms, if that makes sense. Like, so it's in the kitchen, but it also comes out a little bit further, so into the dining area. And then this bathroom downstairs, I turn it into just a half bath, so it's just a toilet, and it actually is also the laundry as well. So if you have laundry day, you can get it with laundry, or otherwise it's just a half bath. So just kind of cute. And then this here is the lounge room, so I change that around a bit. Trying to work out what to do here. I want to divide that off as well, but it doesn't work. It just looks funny. Don't know whether I leave the posts in or not. I think I take them out completely. Maybe. Or did I put a wall? Maybe I put a wall. Oh, yeah, and the tiles. I tried to go terracotta, but like a terracotta tile. But it ended up being very busy. So you'll notice that it actually changes when we go to these screenshots. I think I leave it for the most part, but then it changes out. Yeah, trying to find a rug to go there. I pick a couple of rugs, but I think they all change around when I actually went to do the final sort of the finer details. I sort of, like I said, in the speed build I just only do up to a point, and then for off camera I just do the finer details, just because it takes so long to do, especially with moving objects and things like that around. And I take forever to make decisions, so I do a lot of that off camera. But you do get to see the final result in the images at the end. It's just for this sped up part, I leave it out. It's just a bit easier. Otherwise you'd be watching an hour-long video, or even a video that's in 2 parts. And I've decided I don't want to do that anymore. I want my speed builds just to be one video. So, which is why I'm shortening them and cutting some pieces out. But, oh yeah, I tried this really busy wallpaper, but then I found this one that had a really subtle pattern. I actually really liked it, so I thought I'd use that instead. I don't usually work with these sort of wallpapers, so it was a lot of fun to pick them up and have a bit of a play. I like the subtle sort of was it fleur-de-lis almost pattern in these in the wallpapers. I thought that looked quite cute, and I like that tile as well. I thought that tile looked pretty cool, just like a simple brown tile, but I think it worked quite well. And what else? I tried to change out the fridge. I ended up going with a really short one, so I decided to put a full piece instead of the half piece above it. So it kind of looks cute. And I start off with the stoves there, and you'll notice in the final that stoves are not in front of the window, because I'm like, how impractical is that? Imagine cooking on that, steaming up your windows, and constantly having to wash grease off your windows. I'm like, no thanks, I pass. And I know it's a sim, so it's not real, but I still thought it needed to be moved, so I ended up putting the sink there instead. It's got all your mod cons in the end. It has a dishwasher and everything, so. Now this is upstairs. I'm just trying to work out where the way I wanted it to be laid out. And I figured, okay, I was just going to have, I mean, it is only a 3-bedroom place, but like, I try to squeeze 4 in, but it doesn't quite work. It left me in the room, no space for the bathroom. I was like, yeah, I need a bathroom in here, because I've got a half bath downstairs, so you don't want a full bath upstairs. Ends up actually having like two and a half baths in the final result. One of which is an ensuite, so I guess 1 bathroom, 1 ensuite, and 1 half bath and toilet. Yeah, trying to work out what I was doing here, because I didn't want the bathroom to be huge, so this is where I ended up with making the ensuite, which in this sort of house you wouldn't have. Obviously this has been renovated, that's what I'm going with. I'm saying it's been renovated from what it originally was into this modern home, or not modern home, but it's not modern. Oh, I was looking through the wallpapers and I found that cute penguin wallpaper. I don't think I'd ever seen it before. One of those things I'd skipped over, so I decided to use it. But anyway, yeah. So it's basically I feel it's been renovated and I ended up designing it for I guess a young couple that have got a baby or toddler, or a baby and a toddler, as well as a young child as well. So no teen rooms in this one, which is unusual. I usually end up doing teen rooms. Yeah, just trying to match out the stairs properly, work out which ones I want. Yeah, so I changed them a few times. So yeah, this is the child's room is the one with the dinosaurs, and then the toddler room, or toddler baby room, is got the penguins, and then this is the master bedroom. Unusual shape, but it kind of works. It's kind of cool. And then they have an ensuite, as well as then there's a separate bathroom as well. So basically I'm just placing down all the pieces so that I know what I'm doing, mostly when I come to do the finer details, because I don't do it all on the one day. I take way too long to furnish a build, and what's probably normal. So definitely, I generally do it over a few days actually, furnishing builds, because I have lots of busyness in between. Oh yeah, trying to work out this bathroom was a bit of a chore as well. I think it changes a few times. So this is where I decided to do a baby's room, I think, because I've never done a nursery before, so I thought it was a lot of fun to do actually. I used to do nurseries in Sims when I was playing in The Sims 3. I used to do them all the time. I think because we had more nursery furniture. Certainly don't have nearly as much as we used to. Like no change tables and things. And that's something I kind of miss. I know a lot of people, go on about, open worlds and colour wheels and all that from The Sims 3, but I think I miss like the furnishings. Also Sims 2, Sims 3, Sims 3. But basically, yeah, for babies it was like change tables and things like that, where instead of just throwing the child in the air and catching it again to change its nappy, which I wish that was the case, because that would be so much easier in real life. But yeah, you actually have change tables and things, which I thought would be nice. You actually furnish a nursery properly instead of just sort of making it a toddler's room. So I went with a dinosaur theme for the kids' room. I thought that was kind of fun. I haven't really done that sort of theme style before. I don't know why I'm trying to put butterflies on the wall. But I figured this child's a fairly young child, I've decided, sort of, so, just starting school. And then maybe the baby's about to become a toddler, or that's sort of like the thing. Even though like there's a cradle as well as a toddler's bed, but not necessarily needed for both. And we're into screenshots now, so I'm just going to play some pretty music in a minute. But thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and as well as that notification bell if you haven't already done so. And if you could leave me a like and a comment, that would be awesome. And don't forget to check out my Twitch channel, where I do building every day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, Australian Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 AM. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.